Awesome. Welcome to Teddy Talks. We're here on another episode, and we've got Brandon. Brandon, tell us a little bit about yourself, what company you work with, and where you're at in the world.
Yeah, so my name is Brandon Fish. I'm the CEO and founder of VIAM. So we're a tax equity company. For installers out there, that's basically, we provide PPAs for them to sell in California and Texas, and very soon Puerto Rico. So been in the space for a little bit over 8 years. So kind of started off as a door knocker, worked my way into starting my first solar installation company. Saw some of the issues that were going on with solar finance companies firsthand, and it really motivated me to try to look for some solutions, and kind of ended up starting my own company because of it.
No, that's impressive, especially going from door knocking, like on the boots on the ground, right?
Totally.
And then to owning a company that you saw a niche or hole in the market and you wanted to fix. So PPA's a purchase power agreement.
Yep.
And so tell us how that is different than a loan or a TPO, a third party operator or own.
Yeah, so I mean, a PPA is very similar to a lease. There's a few technical things on the back end, but it is considered a third party owned system. So the people who are basically purchasing the system, we call them tax equity buyers. So for example, if you were a tax equity buyer, you have $100,000 in tax liability, you would come to us. You would own projects through VIAM, and we would basically help offset those taxes and give you a return. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So you've been a couple different aspects. You've been door knocking. You've had installs, EPC partners. Now you're doing financing side.
Yeah.
Tell us the hardest day of your solar career, solar path. And then the best day of your solar career.
Oh man, this is tough. I'm hoping I don't get emotional, but no, my hardest day was hopefully a lot of solar installers will resonate with this. But so I owned an install company called Flex Energy, and we were very, very heavily involved in the California market. And when that transition from NEM 2 to NEM 3 happened, it absolutely killed us. We were doing really good. We were selling 100 plus accounts, high growth company, but weren't prepared in terms of cash flow with the amount of delays that we were seeing with PTO. So we, like a lot of installers out there, had a ton of clawbacks because we couldn't hit PTO within a 6-month period. So my hardest day was my anniversary with my wife was where I had to lay off 60 employees and try to kick things back into gear. Really be nimble and and try to save the company. Long story short, with a lot of the issues that we had later on down the road with Sonova, we went back, finished a lot of these projects, but never got funded. So that all of this really is what pushed me and motivated me to start a finance company that, was really focused in understanding, the issues that installers deal with. Most of the stuff that we went through at Flex, while some of it was in our control, can take accountability there. We didn't have good finance companies that really cared, right? So we would try to show them the data, but they didn't work with us. So it was pretty unfortunate. Best day that I had was it close to a year and a half later when we were working on this project. We landed a partnership with Casey Baugh over at Sandlot Partners.
Okay, yeah.
And got a commitment from them basically to raise about $100 million for us this year for our product. And the goal collectively, our team and theirs, is to go raise $500 million next year and deploy $500 million of capital to these PPA products that we now have. So it's been really cool. I went through a lot of ups and downs went from losing everything to kind of rebuilding my career. So it's been a roller coaster, but looking back at everything, just really, really grateful for the opportunities, and God really has a plan through everything that we do. I feel like I've had so many people in the industry who've had my back, who have understood and have continued to work with me and not lose faith. So it's been good.
No, that's impressive. And I know that there's, in the earlier episode, we talked about relationships, right?
Totally.
And this whole industry is built on who you know and where you know. And a lot of us have been through this roller coaster or industry for several transitions from NEM2 to NEM3. And California really set a lot of the standards on some of these new agreements, and having a good finance partner on any end of it, even from when I'm installing or from when I worked for a large corporation, like having those large companies. Tell us how your company is set it up different for the installer, the user, other than what you've noticed in the past from the other companies?
Yeah, so one very specific thing that we do different than your NFINs, LightReach, GoodLeaps. So in our portal is an installer onboards with us. When we raise money and they sell an account, we have an extra status. So our statuses are M0, M1, M2, M3. So we have an extra one, and that extra status basically is confirming and giving the installer confidence that their job, if they go install it, is going to get funded. So it's fully transparent, shows them, hey, we have the tax equity dollars raised for this project. If you go install it, provide us proof of pictures and everything that you're going to get funded for the project. That was a constant issue even after some of the challenges that I had with Flex, even working with other EPCs. It's just this continual thing of lack of transparency with these finance companies that really kill us. So.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's tough as a door knocker to get out there and knock a door and say, oh, I'm going to get an M1 payment. And again, guys, if you have any questions or comments about acronyms or terminology we're using, leave them in the comments section, and make sure you like and subscribe. But so an M1 is a milestone one payment. An M0 would be like, okay, we got the project. It's you got a perfect packet. All
Correct.
the documents are there. M1 is we're actually funding money towards this.
Yeah,
and the M1s are what, 500,000, 1,500? What's that look like on most projects for you? Are you dispersing money at that time?
So we basically have. We're actually, I mean, we're a fairly new company, but we're working on a partnership with distribution companies to do direct pay.
That's wonderful.
I think very soon, we're in talks with CD. We imagine that's going to be set up here, very shortly in the next 2 weeks. Solagent is another company that's kind of on our radar for that. So M1 basically is confirming, that the tax equity dollars are there. And if it's approved, they can then, go to a CED and get the equipment. So,
and I don't know if people will understand that how much an M1 or direct pay option is critical to some smaller companies.
Totally.
I have an EPC back in Utah, and we still do anywhere from 20 kW to 150 kW a month, give or take, 1 to 10 projects maybe on a busy month. But it's impressive. Like any project, I can have 30, 40 grand out on some of these, because most of them are higher end, battery operated. I've got one project that's 112K right now. And if I've got to expense all that, which I do because we don't have an M1 partner, it's expensive. And
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, you get one project that goes bad, that's a company. And you've been there, you've witnessed that. And if you have a bad financial partner, then same thing, right?
Yeah,
so.
that was really important for us. Like the EPCs that we're bringing onto our platform, we want to make sure that they're not running into cash flow issues. We're very pro, making sure the EPCs are making money and are profitable. I think it's important, obviously, to pay the sales rep, but I've just seen too many EPCs, go out of business. So our model is very focused on making sure that the EPCs that we partner with are here for the long run.
Well, the tough thing is, like, there's a lot of great EPC partners and people that are doing the installs that have gone out of business. And what that does is it creates a domino effect for the ones that are still in the business, for the service, the maintenance,
Totally.
the O&M, right? And so you want to do more projects and new projects, but a lot of the times I feel myself inundated, or my other partners inundated, with service work and repair and replacement and warranty. And so keeping and helping those companies stay in business, because everybody's wants to do good business, and we try, but yeah, it's definitely a struggle for sure.
Yeah, no, it's hard, man. Like, even with me losing an EPC and kind of failing that, like that's something that keeps me up at night is the amount of customers and people that suffer from it. So it's really changed my mindset of what adjustments we need to make in the industry to make sure that these companies are around long term to help service these customers. It's so important.
Awesome. All right, so let's. What is your best word of advice for people in the industry wanting to get in the industry, or what would you tell them?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, like, I would say don't take shortcuts. I think that's important. Like, I look back at my career. Yeah, I moved pretty quickly. I think anybody realizing, hey, I started knocking doors for the first time a little over 8 years ago, to running an EPC and starting a solar finance company. Like that's challenging for sure in an 8-year period. But I stayed with some of the first companies I worked with were Solcius and Ion. I stayed with those companies till I really felt like I understood the sales side before I moved on to the operations side. So a common mistake that I see with guys is they're wanting to jump from one thing to another before they're ready. Yeah, there's the argument you never feel fully ready, but I think planting your feet for a little bit, make sure you get the knowledge, and then move on to kind of the next challenge and obstacle will go a long way. You got to know your stuff before just starting something new.
Awesome. Now, are you from Utah right now?
No, so I'm born and raised in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So this is my hometown. I moved to Utah about 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
Just because it was kind of the solar mecca.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, you know what? If we're gonna really scale an EPC, I was like, I want to be able to recruit some people that already know what they're doing versus just training people from the ground up. So that was kind of the idea behind it. Love Vegas. Vegas has a special place in my heart. Utah's been great for us, though. We definitely love where we're at, and it's very family oriented and family centric. And me and my wife thought, hey, we'll probably be there for 2-3 years, move back to Vegas, but we may plant our feet. So it's been a good experience for us.
Yeah, I moved to Utah about 2008.
Cool.
And been there ever since. All right, so lost my train of thought real quick. All right, so you door knocked. Like, solar, was that your first door knocking experience, or pest security? Nothing, solar.
Yeah, so I sold for a very short period of time insurance with my brother.
Okay.
My brother owned an insurance company, and man, I very quickly realized insurance was not for me. So wasn't my favorite thing, but I went to school at the University of Utah, and one of my roommates was selling for a company called Solcius, and long story short, he would come home and basically tell me about his day, like, oh, I sold three deals, this is what I made. And I was like, you're telling me you're lowering people's bills or doing a bill swap, locking something in, and you're helping people and making great money.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing? So I was going to school for entrepreneurship at the U, and kind of the joke was that half the students that are in that program end up dropping out before they graduate, just because they're entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
So when I found solar and dug in, I did a summer of door knocking, pretty much just appointment setting, and 2 weeks before school started, just kind of had this impression like I needed to go all in on solar, and so I dropped out of school, put my head down and worked as a setter for a long time. Got promoted to a setter manager, then a rep, then eventually managed teams in Utah, Vegas, Arizona. Got the experience and knowledge that I needed, and kind of moved on to the EPC side and now finance side. So, yeah, kind of all started at the U for me, studying entrepreneurship. But fell in love with solar after my first summer. I was like, this is an industry I can plant my feet in permanently. So,
Most
and I
definitely.
still feel that way today.
Awesome. Well, sorry, Mom and Dad. College isn't for everybody, right?
Yep.
But it's definitely a blue-collar workplace, and solar is one of those weird ones where it's white-collar and blue-collar because you're actually helping people. You're getting in the field, but you have to be technical savvy. You have to know taxes. You have to know finances. You have
Totally.
to know personal information. And so I think it's an amazing industry, and it's ever changing. And there's a lot of laws, a lot of things that change, but solar's the same, and it should make sense, right? So,
Yep.
Hey, awesome. Thank you for being here. Tell us how they can get a hold of you, or what information you need, or a website, email. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if guys go to vm.cx, they can contact us through our website. Would love it if you reached out. If you're interested on the tax side, have high tax liability and need to offset that, we're excited to help out. If you're looking as an EPC to partner with us, you can reach out there as well. So. Really appreciate your time, Teddy.
Hey, awesome. It's been great to have you. And again, guys, stay tuned for more from Teddy Talks live here in Vegas. If you're in Vegas right now at RE Plus, come stop by booth 101, V10131. We're going to be here all day today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So we got lots of free swag to give away and fun. We got an after party with Soligent, maybe one of your newest distributors. We'll check that out, guys. Till next time.
I hope you liked that last video. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe right here at this channel to see all the amazing updates coming from Teddy Talks. Now, we're powered by APsystems, and you'll see a lot more coming from us. Hope to see you soon.